Grabbing a quick cup of coffee. If you can't tell by my looks, I am completely exhausted. It has been a day, so we're going to grab some coffee and then we're going to go over all the homeschool stuff, which is a lot. A lot, a lot. Oh, coffee is so good for your soul. Cheers. Okay, now we're going to go in the classroom, which is a complete and utter disaster. Um, I literally have boxes everywhere, papers everywhere, but that's because we're completely redoing it. We are going to be not only doing elementary school this upcoming year for the 2024 2025 school year, but we're also going to be doing middle school. So that's exciting and equally terrifying. So I want everything to be rearranged. Basically, how I have my classroom set up in years prior. Let me see if I can prop you all up. Okay. Is that I had it all elementary based. So from pre K up to sixth grade, I had the classroom coordinated with all information needed within those grades. Now, I don't know where y'all are watching this from, but I grew up half Pennsylvania, half Maryland. So half country, half concrete jungle. I went to school in both Pennsylvania and Maryland. Now, Pennsylvania school, elementary is from pre K, kindergarten, all the way up till sixth grade. Our middle school is seventh and eighth grade, and then our high school is ninth, ninth grade through 12th. But in Maryland, it's totally different. Their elementary school goes from pre K to kindergarten up until fifth grade. Then their middle school is sixth grade through eighth grade, and then their high school is ninth through 12th. Well, I went to both. I did most of my younger schooling in Pennsylvania and then high school and college in Maryland. Now, our oldest daughter went to public school. I gave her an advanced early education like my abuela and padre gave me. Um, I want to say that education is one of the most important things to me. I truly love and value education. It is of the utmost importance to me. However, society has education in a small little box. True education does not fit in said box. I don't care what anybody says, not every child is going to learn the same way, nor at the same path and the same pace. So you can't put a bunch of individuals into one box and think that they're all going to fit within that box. It's unrealistic. However, I went to school, I started before pre K. My parents and my abuela gave me every opportunity for advanced education. Now, my abuela fought very, very hard to come to the United States to get her citizenship for her family. And that has helped me dramatically. If it wasn't for my abuela and my abuelo and their sacrifice, I wouldn't be here and I wouldn't have been born in this country. Now, I am an American, born and raised, but my family on my padre side is not. So I'm first generation, my children are second generation, but on my mom's side, they're all from America. So there's that. Anyway, I put my daughter, our oldest daughter, in public school. I went to public school. There was nothing wrong with that. I loved school. Now, there were certain things I did not like about it, but I did love most of my teachers. I love reading. I am one of the biggest bookworms you will ever meet, probably in your entire life. I literally, y'all, I have more books than Carter had liver pills. Like for real. I love books and I love learning. I always consider myself a lifelong learner, and that's how I teach my children. I don't care if you're in school or not, I don't care how old you are, there's always something you're going to learn how to do. Nobody knows everything. So we're continually learning, growing, flourishing as people, as individuals, as families, as society, and so forth. So, like I said, I had an early education. When I graduated, I went to college. I wanted that for my children, as most parents do. Now, I had no problems. I loved most of the schools that my daughter went to, our oldest. Now, I had her in, I worked in corporate America. So I was literally working 70 to 80 hours a week, 6 to 7 days a week. My weekends consisted of taking my oldest when she was younger, she was a toddler, taking her to the office with me because I had so much work for me. Um, and it was nonstop. Well, I wound up putting her, my padre had found this elite private preschool. It's for children who are too young to attend normal school. So I'm like, okay, I did not want to put my daughter in daycare. I did not believe in that. That's just my own personal preference. My children are my life. I mean, literally, they are my life. So if I trust you with my children, I am essentially trusting you with my life. I am not willing to just go let anybody watch my children. Just because people are cleared and they have certifications and this and that does not mean that they're really qualified. Bad things still can happen, good things can happen. So you got to outweigh the good and the bad. And there have been horror stories of daycares. I am one of those people. I am very preventative, very, very preventative. And I do not put myself in a position where a situation could arise. Life has enough surprises. I'm not going to add to that. So, anyway, my father had wound up finding this elite private preschool. It cost so much money that to me it wasn't really worth it because the price wasn't worth it. However, my daughter was going to get things that would help her throughout her entire life. At the time, I was a single mom, so I was literally doing it on my own. Thank God for my family because they were truly a blessing and a heaven sent. I could not have gotten through anything without my family, and I would have never been able to do what I did. Now, her tuition was every week, and I made really good money. I mean, I worked 70 to 80 hours a week. I made bank. However, I had an expensive house, a $36,000 SUV, which I didn't need that, but I was young. I had the money. I didn't know what I know now. That's why we live and we learn. Now, keep in mind, this is what, 13 years ago, so it's been a hot minute. Anyway, so she went to that. I wanted her to be able to learn how to read. No school taught me how to read. I did not learn how to read from school or a teacher. My abuela taught me how to read. When I was, ever since I was a baby, she would take and she would like lay down, but sit, sit laying down, however you want to say it, on her couch. And I would be right there in her lap and she would have books. And I've always loved books. And she's the one who taught me how to read. My reading level is because of my abuela. My love and passion for books and for education is all because of my grandmother. Like when I read Proverbs, and especially Proverbs 31, I think of her. I have never in my entire life met anybody that fits the description of a Proverbs 31 woman outside of my abuela. So let me grab my coffee real quick, y'all. Um, and actually, this painting right behind me, her brother did that. My abuela had 12 brothers and I think 4 or 5 sisters. There was like 17 of them. But he painted this. Now, all his other paintings, sadly, I no longer have. They got burned up in our house fire, which breaks my heart because those were my prized possessions. But at least I have this one. This painting right here, the reason why I have it in the classroom is a reminder. Here, let me move over here. Maybe it's better. When I was little and my abuela was teaching me how to read, this was right above the couch that we would always be on when she would teach me how to read. So I remember just, going like this, looking all around as a little toddler and kid, and I would always see this. At my old house, this used to be hanging above my fireplace in my living room. But when we, after the house fire and once we moved here to our homestead, I remember this painting being a symbol of just me thinking of my abuela, thinking of books, reading, and my childhood. And I wanted that for my children. So I put that in here. Perfect wall for it. Like it literally just fits. All my other walls are covered in blackboards, dry erase boards, and stuff like that, and posters. So, anyway, I think I'm getting off subject. So, anyway, my daughter was learning how to read. That was very important. Plus, I always read to her at home. She had a library as a child. Like, I've always had a library. In my abuela's house when I was little, she had a built in library that my abuelo hand built for her. And I just remember going and getting books. And actually, I have some of their books. Hold on. Okay, so these are not all of them, but I just grabbed a couple. So there's this one, and they're very old, but as you can see, I took immaculate care of these because my abuela gave them to me. So this is Fun and Fantasy. This is Adventures Here and There. Then this one is Children Everywhere. This is Mostly Magic. Now, as a Christian, anything with magic, I am against. I don't like that. This is fairy tales, is what it is. It's just how they worded it back then. And then this one is Good Times Together. Now, I do have a bunch that was about America and stuff like that, but I don't have them handy. I believe that they are in our children's room. Now, I also have my abuelo's old books, and these are extremely fragile. But this is the Jungle Book, and the pages are, I mean, this is old, old. So, this one is the Jungle Book. I also have, let's see if I can do this without making a mess, y'all. All right, so the Jungle Book, Pinocchio, The Merry Adventures of Robin Hood, let me just do this, The Call of the Wild. I love the smell of books. Arabian Nights. This book is actually where they got the where Walt Disney got the idea for Aladdin. The Heroes. And this is 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea by Jules Verne. This is one of the originals. So when I say that it is old, I mean it is extremely old. I don't even know if it has a date. 1868, I think that says. And then I have Paul Bunyan. The Virginian. I think I'm pronouncing that right. This is Casebook of Sherlock Holmes. Now these are really, you can tell by the binding. Unfortunately, the page will come out. And then this is the Swiss Family Robinson. And then this one was my ultimate favorite as a kid, Treasure Island. And you can tell the binding. But there was a map. See, that's so sad. There was a map in here. See if I can find it. Totally off subject, I know, but this was one of my favorite books, and it had a treasure map that it's so old looking. And I remember I would use this treasure map, and when I was playing, I have one of the most awesomest imaginations as a child. Still have a crazy imagination, but it works because I occupied myself. So anyway, my point is, I love books. I have a passion for it. I wanted to pass that down to all my children. I wanted my children to be amazing readers because you can teach me whatever you want. I'm not going to digest it. I'm one of those, I have to read it for myself. I have to do it for myself in order to be able to learn it. I also have the complete collection. These were my abuelos too, of the Golden Book Encyclopedia. These are very old as well, but I have every single one. And then I also have every single one of the Golden Treasury of Knowledge. And these all were my abuelos. And this has got some pretty cool stuff. Now, I have Czechoslovakian in me. So this one is about Czechoslovakian, different cultures. And then the Golden Treasury of Knowledge, Volume 1, is the universe, millions of years ago, the United States, the respiratory system, early Gauls and Germans. It's got Asia, the first firearms, Venezuela, Eskimos, hares and rabbits, weather stations, the first airships, which first airships were not airplanes, ancient Persia, the French Revolution, 17th century ships, petroleum and its uses, the River Nile, molecules, Socrates of Athens, and just all kinds of stuff. And I have memorized these books. It's very detailed. I think people should really, really look at old literature and old books because things have been changed. And that's why I always say I prefer an actual book than online things because people can get online, they can change things. Heck, look at how many definitions have been changed just within the past 3 to 4 years. Definitions that we've been taught since the beginning of time and they get changed. But you can't change a book. So, my children have a lot of books that they can choose from. Plus, we can go to the library, and I love doing stuff like that. Anyway, so all our other children never went to public school. My oldest did. Now, I loved her couple of her schools actually. Um, the private elite preschool, I loved them. They did an immaculate job. Then she went to Bel Air Elementary, and I loved her teachers. I still have them on my social media to this day. They are phenomenal teachers, and they will forever be in my heart. Then she went to the Church of Nazareth, and they did an amazing job. I think it was called the Church of Nazareth HCDC. I believe that's what it is, but I loved them. Now, when she went to the one school, and this is all in Maryland, by the way. My daughter has never went to school in any other state other than Maryland at the time. Um, when I moved to my house, my last house before I moved here, she started going to a school that I never went to. However, her other side of the family had went there. And so I thought, okay, it would probably be okay. I lived in a nice neighborhood in the country, it was nice. It wasn't like, places that I've lived before. So I'm like, okay, that's great. And she had some pretty amazing teachers there. However, she had some not so great teachers there. My daughter was extremely intelligent. And I'm not saying that I know every parent thinks, oh, my child, I'm not one of those people. I am a realist in a loving and respectful way. I'm not going to sit here and, you know, how how can I express this? I'm not going to argue with somebody and say that there's not issues if there really isn't. Like when I'm right, and I will go to the death to prove that and to fight that. If I'm wrong, I have no problem admitting that. I take full accountability. I've been wrong so many times in my life that I can't even keep track. If I had a dollar for every time I was wrong, I'd be a millionaire. You know what I mean? That's part of life. However, when it comes to my children, I am a mama bear and I will go to bat for my babies. I had a very big disagreement. Now, my child was not behind. My child got amazing grades. She knew the material. She was very smart. The only problem that she had was self-confidence. At home, out in public, you would never guess. She was so fine. She was social butterfly and a firecracker, and she was too social to the point to where, that whole stranger danger. Yeah, she didn't grasp that. It was kind of a like you had to keep your eyes on her at all times. And I do that with all my children. I do not take my eyes off my children. They stay right beside me. So I learned with her. um, anyway, when she went to school, she didn't have that confidence. I tried explaining to them this and that. They don't want to listen. Now, I have the utmost respect for teachers. They have a very hard job. Look at us parents, okay? We get overwhelmed because being a parent is hard. It is the hardest thing that you will do in life. I have worked every job that, requires patience. Let me tell you, I have over 20 years of customer service. I did over 20 years of being a waitress. Let me tell you something. You see a lot of things, you deal with a lot of things. I've worked corporate America. I've done all kinds of things. There is nothing that tests your parents more than parenthood. You don't. And think of how you get frustrated with your own babies. We're human. We're going to get frustrated and overwhelmed. Now imagine that times 50. You're one teacher in a classroom of 50 children, between 30 to 50 children. That is a lot. That is a lot. So, like I said, I have the utmost respect for teachers. I don't know how they do it. I couldn't, and bus drivers. I could never do it. I could never be a bus driver having to drive a bunch of children that aren't my, I just, to each their own. Y'all deserve kudos and raises because teachers don't get paid what they deserve. They don't. And it's sad. However, it's not the teacher's fault. Again, it is not the teacher's fault. When you go to become a teacher, when you go to college for it, for early education, this and that, or whatever you're going to, for teaching, they drill you, teach you, mold you, and instruct you a certain way. Okay. when you go to get your job. The public school system is here. This is what you're teaching out of. This is how you teach. You do not stray from the curriculum. You do not stray. We tell you what you can say, what you can't say, and what you can and cannot teach. That's why you will never hear me blame teachers directly, because it's not their fault. They're doing their job. Everybody who works, you literally are doing the job that is required. You're doing the job that you're getting paid for. That's what they're doing. It's the school, it's the schools, the education system that is the problem, not the teachers. Yes, there are bad eggs in there, but not all teachers are. You have good people and bad people. You have amazing cops. You have dirty cops. You have amazing uh, employees, bad employees. It doesn't matter. Whatever type of field or department or topic you want to go to, there's the good and there's the bad. So I just think that teachers get a bad rep because I don't agree with what's being taught in public school. I do not. But I'm not going to blame the teachers for that, because at the end of the day, they're just doing their job. They have to get paid so that they can eat, so that they can feed and provide and take care of their families. It's not their fault. You got to do what you got to do to provide for you and yours. The school system is what I have a problem with. How they teach is not how I want my children to be taught. And what they're teaching now is not anything that I want my children to be taught. I do not want no, what is it, CRT taught to my children. I don't want none of this mumbo jumbo, crazy circus, fantasy, wannabe malarkey taught to my children. No, that is my right as a parent. They didn't give me my kids. They didn't carry my kids. God blessed me with my children. I carried my children. I gave birth to my children, and I tend to take care of my children. Nobody else has that right. However, like I said, I'm not going to blame the teachers because it is not their fault. Now, that I went off on a crazy, off track rant and rave, let's get into what curriculum we have used. And if you made it this far to about, 28 minutes, thank you. Sorry about my rant and rave, but I do love school and I love education. I just don't like the way that the education system is failing our students. The public education system is failing our teachers, their staff, our students, our children, our society, our culture, etc. And if you do your due diligence and research like I have, when the guy created the curriculum, it wasn't to make people smart. It wasn't to have intelligent people. It was to literally raise a society of non-thinkers to be his workers. Trust me, do your research. I have. Now, what have I used? This is my homeschool recap of the 2023-2024 school year, which is this past school year that we went through. Now, we are going to be going over from pre-K all the way to 6th grade. That's where we're at. And then I'm going to do probably a separate video of the curriculum that we're going to do this year. I don't want to make it too long just because I do have other obligations I have to do, and I'm going to have supper soon. And if y'all have been following me for any amount of time, y'all know I cook everything homemade from scratch. Breakfast, lunch, supper, dessert, snacks, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. We do not eat processed food nor boxed stuff or any of that. It's literally homemade from scratch. So it always takes a while. But in this one little crate that I have is some things that we do. Now, One great resource, okay, with the economy and the inflation, things are so overpriced. I mean, I can't believe the prices that I hear people talking about. I hear that bread is up like $5, $7 a loaf of bread. That is crazy. But that's also why I like to make my own bread. That, and because I control the ingredients, I know the ingredients that I put into my food, and we're not getting sick. But a great resource is K5. Now, the public school system actually uses K5 learning for their worksheets for the kids. It is accredited, it is a source that teachers use, it is a source that public and private schools use, and it is a source that I homeschool with. So, this is the online reading and math for K through 5. This is, the K5learning.com. This is kindergarten. Trace and write sentences. Kindergarten writing worksheet. So you're going to look at the picture and use the pictures to complete the sentence. So if you can see, the top line is, the fish is, and then your child would trace blue. Then you're going to rewrite the whole sentence. Well, do the next picture. You're going to trace it. The bear is brown. So you read and you only trace blue. The second picture, you're going to trace the entire thing. And then the third one is blank, and you would have to write, the hippo is gray. So that's a great one. And they have all different ones. Here's another example. I like my friend. I like my sister. I like my dog. Same type of thing. Then you have this one. I see a leaf. I see a nut. I see a tree. My children absolutely loved doing these. They're fun. They have cute little pictures. It teaches them how to write properly, how to read, think, and so forth. And the K5 Learning has all kinds of stuff. Like right here, this is 6th grade. Reading numbers in scientific notation. Grade 6 scientific notation worksheet. So you have like, write the numbers in normal form. 2.08 times 10 to the 7th power. So I made sure that, my children, my older children, know the equations. We already started pre-algebra. I start that early depending on if they're ready or not. But we do decimals, fractions, equations, PEMDAS, variables, word problems, graphs, all of that. And then this is writing numbers in expanded form. So you have, write each number in their expanded form. And they have it for every subject, like math, science, reading, writing, so forth. Multiplying by parts, reading numbers and scientific notation. And then we also did dissect the words. Now this is 5th grade vocabulary, and you literally dissect the words. When I first started homeschooling, I had no idea what I was doing. It is so overwhelming. If any of y'all are new to homeschooling, or if you're contemplating homeschooling or not, my heart and prayers are with you. Reach out to me, whether it's comment or private messaging or email. I'm here for you. I did hours and hours, days, months, years of research, and I found some great advice and some really bad advice. And unfortunately, there's more mumbo jumbo malarkey than there is actual good advice. And I don't mean people's rants and raves, because sometimes I can be like a squirrel where I get distracted, or, like the whole beginning of this live when I just go on my little rant and rave. It happens. But I found that I had so many people who haven't been homeschooling that long. They literally only started homeschooling, or they only did 1 or 2 years max of homeschooling. And then they're standing in front of y'all like there's some experts on a podium. And I'm just thinking, like, you don't know what you're doing. You're not an expert. Just be real with people. I- I'm I'm a very realist. So I think that's my problem, where if you want perfection and this and that, I'm not your girl. This is not your channel. More power to you. God love you, but it's just not me. I'm realistic. There's messes, there's stress, there's joy and excitement and adventures, and this is just real life, and I show that in all its forms, both beautiful and ugly. So there's that. Um, anyway, we also did like grade one spelling, prefix words, um, coloring, homographs, number related plural, polysyllabic words, vowels. And my papers are stuck together. I apologize. Eh. Um, Basically, sounding out your words, sight words, and stuff like that. Then I made for nature walk. Now, I didn't know what type of homeschooling I was going to do. And when I first heard that, yeah, y'all, I was like a deer in headlights. Okay, I'm like, huh? Like, what do you mean? That didn't even make sense to me. And I'm not dumb by any means. I mean, Lord knows I have my moments, but I was just totally taken back. Like, what do you mean my homeschool method? I just want to teach my kids. I want my children to be smart. I don't want them, this whole no child left behind. That's great and all, but I'm not just going to pass my kids. They're going to need to know the work. You got to earn it. You got to do your due diligence. And my whole thing is, I want my children to be extremely intelligent. I want them to have a love and a passion for learning. And I want them to keep that for their entire life. I want that passed down. Oh my goodness, that's my trash can. I took my trash can out earlier because I needed to wash it, and I thought it was a person, and it just scared the dickens out of me. I'm sorry. It's okay, Pipsqueak. It's all right. Anyway, I want that to be passed down to my children and my grandchildren and so forth. However long our lineage is here until the good Lord calls us home. Now, I started doing research on what that meant. What is my method? How do I want to homeschool? And I fell in love with Charlotte Mason. Charlotte Mason is an incredible, incredible woman who has a love and passion for learning, for books, for education, and she likes to incorporate a lot of nature and books, which I'm all for. I love nature and I love books. So it is classical, traditional, and then I also do a laid back type of approach, if that makes sense. I don't want my children to be overwhelmed, overworked. And unfortunately, the public school systems do that. Your children are overloaded for 8 hours a day, come home, tons of homework, and it's just a lot. They don't have time to decompress, let loose, family time, this and that, before you eat and they need to get ready for bed and get up and do it all over again. So I made this cute, and let me know if y'all like this. Oops, sorry. I can put this on a PDF form that y'all can print out. But it's, you put your student's name there. Let's go on a nature walk. Check off the items you see on your walk. So I like to start where every morning we get up, we do, and I have my schedule always on the one board, but wake up, do your stretches, and then breakfast. After breakfast, the older children have their chores, got to take care of the animals and everything here on the homestead. I always try to get everything watered outside, like the plants, gardens, and everything before the sun really hits because I don't want nothing to burn. I don't want my foliage to burn. And then we go for a walk after that. So there's a leaf, grass, bird, butterfly, mud, um, squirrel, tree, flowers, bush, caterpillar, clover, and ladybug. So just something simple like that. But the kids love it. And it's a good way to get them engaged, get their minds thinking without overloading. So I incorporate a lot of different things. Place value for math, rounding. Now, this is one cute little one. This is kindergarten, but to teach them how to first start doing math. Now, my older children take after me where they read it, they do it, they got it. Our younger children are not like that. They're like their father, a visual learner. Like my husband is a very visual learner and a tinker. Like he has to physically do it himself and see it to perceive it. So I thought that this was a really nice way. You count the fingers and then you can see, okay, this is one finger, this is two. So that means 1 + 2 is 3. Now, our younger children are actually amazing at math, absolutely amazing at math. And I didn't, I was really worried about that, but they exceeded all expectations. So I do k5learning.com, and then this is K5 Bible curriculum that we have done, homeschool edition. So it's visualized Bible stories, songs, memory verses, and doctrinal drills. So I like that. Preliminary information, lesson plans, and so forth. And then this is the K5 Homeschool Manuscript Writing Curriculum and Lesson Plans. And then with this one, where's the beginning? It got ripped. It's seen better days, but this is with a dry erase markers, which I love because you can continually use it for all your children. So that's kind of what I like. I want to be able to reuse what I can for the children as, as the older ones get older and move on and the younger ones get older. And then of course they have their stuff that is just for them that they write in. But this is Autumn Publishing, and you can just go to igaloobooks.com, but it's to tell time. And this really, really helped, especially with toddlers, first and second grade. And it literally shows you how to tell time. As you can see, I still gotta clean some of the pages. But we do this every year with the youngest. So clocks, times a day, what's on a clock, numbers, hands, hours explained, and so forth. Like this book is so great for your littles. And even if you're not homeschooling, this is a great way to help your children, even if they are in public school. So we do that. Then I bought this. I think I bought this from Walmart, to be honest. It's ages 5 through 6. Yep, I did buy it from Walmart. So it's $10.99 at Walmart, at least at the Walmart in our old area in Maryland before we moved states. But this is Kindergarten Write and Reuse. It does have an online curriculum that you can use with this. So, for instance, you trace your A's, okay? You learn how to make an A, then you write it on your own, and then Allie the alligator. And you gotta draw. Same thing. You trace and learn how to write your B's. You write them on your own, then you draw and follow the prompt. All my children have loved using this. I mean, this has probably gotten used more than almost anything because it's visual. They get to physically do it, visually see it. It's colorful, it's engaging, and as any of y'all have littles, you know it's all about keeping their attention because toddlers have the attention span of grasshoppers or squirrels. So, this is the Kindergarten Write and Reuse, and I really liked this. Then I bought Preschool Fun, and this was literally, just like a little activity book almost. So activity book, coloring book, so forth. And I really liked that. So learning with music is easy and fun. And it includes a free album download when you buy that. And that is from oh, Twin Sisters, Bendon. Let y'all see the back. So there's that. Then I bought the Little People Fisher Price Colors and Shapes. And this really helped. My children really did enjoy this. It's colorful, it's engaging. So these are added things to do, which makes it extremely easy. And then every day we'll come in after breakfast and after everything, and we start with our pledges and our announcements. We have 3 pledges. Let me see if I can take y'all. Okay, so Blackburn Family Homeschool pledges. We do, I pledge allegiance to the Christian flag and to the Savior for whose kingdom it stands. One Savior, crucified, risen, and coming again, with life and liberty for all who repent and believe. Our second pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And then our third pledge is, I pledge allegiance to the Bible, God's holy word. I will make it a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. I will write and hide its words onto my heart that I might not sin against God. So I got that up, and all my children have a personal copy of this. They all have a copy of it. They all studied it, so they know it. They don't even need it, but I like to have it up here just in case, especially because over here, like I said, don't mind the mess. I'm rearranging the classroom, but over here is our little circle time. So every day, once we do the month, the year, we change all the days, and you have to come over here, change what day it is, and then the day, today, yesterday, tomorrow, the season, and then today's weather. Then we do the vows and the days of the week. So that's that. You can kind of see our wall artwork gets hung up here. Geometry, angles, math reference sheet, ABCs, cursive. I'm very big on cursive. I do not like that public school does not teach cursive. My children already know how to do cursive. That is something I did not play around with. If you can write, you can do cursive. So there's that. This is 8 verses that I pray over my kids. It's my acronym for school. So S is for self-control, 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 8. C is for courage, Joshua chapter 1, verse 9. H is help from the Holy Spirit, John chapter 7, verses 38 to 39. O is for opportunities to do good, Galatians chapter 6, verse 10. The other O is for overcome evil, Romans chapter 12, verse 21. And the L is love God and others, Matthew chapter 22, verses 37 to 39. Then I have my Spanish numbers from 1 to 100. I am bilingual. My family is bilingual on my Padre side, so it was very, very, very important that my children knew how to speak multiple languages. So that's over there. And then, like I said, we do the pledges. Now, I did different colors just because it's easier no matter what age. Like I said, I have kids ranging from pre-K to 7th grade. So you want different colors so they know. Otherwise, if it's just all one color, it's just going to mesh together. And I didn't want that. We'll put stuff up here, like important things. This is all from last year. And then I have God's annual festivals. So we have all that. If you dream it, you can do it. I am all about positivity and encouragement. And then the little turkeys that are all over the house because that's what we made for Thanksgiving. And yeah, so okay, put y'all back there. That's just a little bit of what we go over. Now, we'll do the pledges and then any announcements. Next is devotions and prayers. I always start the day before we do any work. I start with a prayer because I want us to have a good school day. I want to pray, sorry, y'all, over my children, over what they're going to be learning and everything like that. So that's very, very, very important to me. Um, and then we do our family Bible devotionals. We do this every morning, and I want to incorporate it twice a day only because I've been doing this in the mornings with my children during the school day. I also have these that we've been doing outside of school. This is Walking with Jesus. And y'all, these devotionals are just so pretty. Why is there such a glare? I'm sorry, y'all. The sun is so bright. It's like putting a horrible glare. But anyway, my children really want to be able to do this with daddy. So I'm like, okay, well, we'll do one in the mornings right after, we do our pledges and announcements and our prayer time, family prayer time. Then every night after supper, we'll all sit down and we'll do another family devotional with daddy this time. So that's what we're going to be incorporating with that. So devotionals. Then we do praying the prayers of the Bible. And I have a thing called the Weekly Prayer Project. This is mine, but I put the little books together for my children. So we do them. Plus, we read the Bible during biblical studies. We read scripture and learn about it. So I'll show y'all. This is the schedule that I normally do. So pledges, announcements, devotions and prayers, circle time gym, botany, gardening, math, English and language arts, biblical studies, social studies, Spanish and foreign languages, science, reading, health, home economics and consumer science and special. Now, special ranges from gym to foods class to sewing and so forth. However, I like to do some sort of gym every single day. It is very important that my children are healthy and active. So, getting outside, getting fresh air, getting your body moving is really good for them. Plus, they get tired. They don't want to sit nonstop. So, it gives them something to look forward to. Now, this is, it's not the other time that I showed y'all. This is a different one. And this is, let's see, Wipe Clean Early Learning Activity Book. And it comes with a parent's guide. So you'll do the letters, but it also does, letters, numbers, different animals you'll learn about. So, like cats, dogs, ducklings, cows, parrots, fish. Then you do butterflies, number practice, alphabet practice, connect the dots, and then you learn about time. Numbers and all of that. So that's one thing we did. This is by Crayola, Colors and Shapes. This one was really fun. And just little things like that. Now, curriculum. Okay. For our youngest, I bought this off of Amazon. A lot came off of Amazon. But this is Sight Words and Phonics flashcards. There is 520 sight words and 65 phonics. So, for example, here's one. This is sight words number 1. You get the cards out for the grade, put them on a loop, and then there's front and back. So, when you open your box up, when you get it from Amazon, you'll see right here says phonics. Then you'll see, okay, let's start down here. There's pre-K, kindergarten, first grade, second grade, third grade, fourth grade. And then one thing I love about this is they give you blank cards, y'all. Tons of blank cards that you can personally write your own words on, which I absolutely love that. So that is on Amazon. If you go to our wish list, I have everything that I have. It's on there. Plus, I mean, obviously stuff that we don't have yet. I also make my own. So, for instance, I just take a normal index card. Normal index card. And I'll write like had, one, keep these in order, in, or, your, when, from, to. So there's those. We'll do memory and all kinds of stuff. Here is other ones that breaks down. So all kinds of different ones. Mila! Sorry. So put them over here. I think my children are coming in from playing outside. I also got history pockets from Evan Moore. Now, if you go to Amazon, click on Evan Moore, and they have all kinds of publications. What is that noise? Oh, okay. This is the history pockets on colonial America, and this is grades 4 through 6. This was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. And there's all kinds of activities that you do. Ask Sissy to do it. Thank you. So, in colonial America, you make 8 pockets, and you get fun and exciting projects, and you can present it, you make books, and so forth. So the content is how to use the history pockets, what every pocket has, colonial America pockets cover. Pocket number 1 is Introduction to Colonial America. Pocket number 2 is the first settlements. Pocket number 3 is the Native Americans. Pocket 4 is homes and villages. Pocket 5 is daily life. Pocket 6 is school. Pocket 7 is work. And pocket 8 is memorial people. And then an evaluation at the end. Again, this is Evan Moore. And you can see I don't have any of my children's to show you because I'm trying to get everything put together so everything's chaotic. Um, then, wait, that's two. For health, I did Horizons Health. Turn that off, please. Um, Horizons Health. This is the student workbook, and then it comes with the teacher book, which is huge, the teacher guide. So we have that, and this is, I really like the Horizons. I did. So I probably would continue to do that. K5, again, homeschool edition, phonics, reading, writing, and numbers, curriculum, and lesson plans. And then this is handwriting without tears. This is my teacher's guide. Now, my children love games. So, a big thing to keep children's attention, your little children to keep their attention, and even your older children, just to give them a break because they get overwhelmed. I have tons of games. So, we have math cards that they can play games with that. I also have, here's some. Ugh. Oh, they lost. Okay, they're playing with the one. This is Phonics 2, Diagraphs and Blends, Telling Time, Subtraction, Addition, Numbers, Addition flashcards, Division, and my multiplication is somewhere, so my children must have that. They really enjoy playing with these, even through their downtime, like before, like while I'm making supper, after supper, they like to play them. So I did really want to incorporate foreign language in with my children. I was very blessed and fortunate to be able to speak multiple different languages when I was younger. Um, of course, before my car accident, but I don't want the languages to die with me, so to speak. So, unfortunately, my abuelo passed away before I was even born. So, I never got to meet him. Um, I only know of him, of course, through my abuela, my father, and family. But my abuela passed away several years ago. My padre and mother both passed away within the past couple years. So, all my family is gone outside of my husband and my children. Mm, sorry. So I don't I don't want certain traditions and things to end with me. So it's very important to keep that alive. So I teach them Spanish and so forth, but also for them to be able to do it themselves. I went to Carson DeLusa, and for my K through 5, I got Spanish 1, and my 6th through 8th graders have already, they know quite a bit in Spanish. So I just did Spanish 2 for them. So there's several of those. Um, Now, for math, I did Spectrum for math and science for all my children. So let me try to grab. All right, this is Spectrum 6th grade math. I got this off of Amazon. It includes free video tutorials, focus practice for math mastery, multiplying and dividing fractions and decimals, um, ratios, rates, and percents, equations in problem solving in the coordinate plane, probability and statistics, and so forth. So they do this, and I have it for each grade for my children. This is spectrum science, lab safety rules, natural earth, life, and applied science, research extension, and keyword definitions, and it goes into a lot more than that. So there's that. And then for each one of my children, each grade got a BrainQuest workbook. I also got this from Amazon. And this is great because it does spelling and vocabulary, language arts, research and analyst, writing and grammar, math skills and the number system, ratios and proportions, geometry, statistics and probability, social studies, science, and technology. It also comes with mini smart cards. It comes with certificates, and it's quite a lot. Like, even this one is sixth grade. So for my kids ages 11 through 12, this was quite a thing for them. So for what I call English and language arts, we did spelling and vocabulary, literature comprehension, research and analyst, writing, pronouns and punctuation, metaphor and meaning. Math, we did, math skills, ratios and proportions, the number systems, expressions and equations, geometry, and statistics and probability, social studies, science, and technology. And it goes in pretty good in depth. So I was really pleased with the BrainQuest. My children all loved it, and my children all requested to get a BrainQuest for this year to go along with their curriculum that we're doing. So, like I said, we do the spectrum science, spectrum math, BrainQuest. I did Dr. Seuss workbook. This is for my second grader. And this is just, spelling and grammar, writing, reading, math, science, and exploring emotions. It's a pretty big book, too. And then, the kindergarten, write and reuse. Still continuing the Spanish one for the little, Spanish 2 for my olders. We also did Reading Street, and this is my second grader. So weekly test, assess knowledge of high frequency words and lesson vocabularies, assess understanding of weekly decoding skills, assess understanding of weekly comprehension skill, respond to, look back, and write. So go into that. Next is our Scholastic. This one was for pre-kindergarten. So where one gets a book, they normally all get a book as long as they have it in their grade. This is a jumbo workbook. I mean, it's got a lot, as y'all can see. That's pretty thick. And they have flashcards to promote reading readiness, a special section of activities to help get your child ready for kindergarten, assessment test, and quick assessments to make sure that your child masters each must-to-know-how skill, a list of teachers' favorite books for young learners, free access to Scholastic Learning Rich website. You get free certificates and stickers, and this does almost like everything. So as you can see, this one belongs to Melania. And it has so much, y'all, like so much. So your table of contents, you have reading and language arts, mathematics, getting ready for kindergarten, Like this was a lot. So that's the first page, second page. This is just the table of contents. Third page and fourth page. So 4 pages of just the table of contents. And it's got a lot. Like, I'll flip through for y'all, so y'all can see. And she really liked this. And she did really good with the testing too. And then you cut and paste depending on what it asks for. And the kids really enjoy this. Like, they really do. So again, Scholastic. I got this from Walmart, y'all. So, or you can order it from Amazon. Now, mathematics. This big old boy. This is the Scott Forsman and Addison Wesley Mathematics Diamond Edition. And this is a huge, huge math book. But I really like it. This is from Discovery School, the Pearson Scott Forsman. So this one is what they use in actual school. And it's a lot. But look at the graphics. Like, it's really crazy. And it's heavy. It is a heavy book. And yes, you write in it. It's not just pictures. So it does do a lot. And then I'll show y'all. So there's that. Then we did sight words, daily activity journal, 35 weeks, converts the first 100 sight words. This is K through first grade. Again, this is my daughter Melania's. And I really like it because you have words for each week, okay? And as you can see, 35 weeks. And then every day is like this. So it's got it broken down. You do one a day. Monday is you just read and color the words. Tuesday, you trace and write. Wednesday, you unscramble the words and write. Thursday, you find the words. Friday, you trace, write, and draw. She really liked that. We also got these books. You can get them from Amazon, like a big pack of it. But they're learning. This is book 2, Kion and Friends, Scholastic. To learn how to read. I printed out a bunch of these for Melania. This was level 1 reader, the tangled feet problem. This is K5 learning again. It's a story. You read the story to your child, then they answer the questions, and then it'll have them draw or this and that. So I did do that. This is the Spectrum Math book for first grade. Now, I printed out and made an alphabet coloring page packet for my youngest. So, like A, and it goes all the way from A to Z. And then this is what the first grade Brain Quest looks like. Almost done. See if I can just switch this here. Also, really like the Kiwi Co., which is perfect for your children. Especially my children love being able to read the book and read the magazine and then put together the project. They are very creative, very creative. Now, I cannot draw worth nothing, y'all. I can do a really cute frog. I can do a frog. And I can do stick figures that look like they need medical attention right away. So that skipped me. Now, my abuela, and as you can see, my abuela's family, they painted that. They can all draw. My padre, my abuela, all her siblings, they all are phenomenal drawings. I am not creative with that type of art. My art was always singing, dance, writing, poetry. So my children are very gifted with being able to draw. I mean, they are really good drawers, but they really, really enjoy being able to do that throughout school. They're very talented. Now, I also did summer bridge activities, and this is really good. This was bridging grades fourth to fifth grade. So we do that. And then this is what the fourth grade Brain Quest workbook looks like. And then this is short vowel workbook and long vowel workbook. Letters learning sticker book, which your children are going to absolutely love. And that's all that I pulled out. Everything else is put away. There's so much more that goes into it, but that's the gist of it. Oh, wow. We've been on here for over an hour. So, yeah, I had a lot of curriculum. Now, I really did want to try this Christian Light. And this looks so amazing. We are Christian, so obviously I want my children to have an education that is sound doctrine, but I want it in every type of field. So that's why I teach my children, we do devotions and prayers, we do circle time, gym. I teach my children botany, gardening, farming. They learn math, English, language arts, biblical studies, social studies, current events, world history, Spanish, foreign languages, science, reading, health, home economics, consumer science, and their special, which will be foods class, sewing, and I teach them all that here. We have sewing machines and everything else. Plus, like I said earlier in the very beginning of this live, I have more books than Carter has liver pills. I have all of my grandparents' books. I have my books, my Padres books, like there's books all around me. It's insane, but I love it. And I love that my children get a wide variety. Now, before I end this live, because I have been on here for way longer than what I anticipated, see if I can. Okay. So, here's some worksheets. This is all cursive. So, see if I can hold this up here because I'm one-handed. I did little stories, like this one's around. This is little nursery rhymes like patty cake and all that. Then sentences. Stories and so forth. So it's very, very important that my children know how to do cursive. Oh my goodness, go in there. And then this is all math, different forms of math. Oh, I didn't know you could put a flash on a live. Huh. Ain't that something? I'm sorry, y'all. Geometry. And then in here is science. So I have like the water cycle. And it'll tell all through that. And then, the life cycles of all types of animals, trees, plants, frogs. And again, all these worksheets are k5learning.com, which is free, or ones that I've made up myself. I also have National Geographic lessons and stuff like that. And then in here are stories. So they read a story and have to answer tons of questions. That was a project. for botany, they were making compost tea. And then here's the other stories. So it's quite a lot. But that's what we did. And then we also, like I said, we read the Bible. We also do other biblical texts like the books of Enoch, Jubilees, Jasher, etc. And then I love to get these stem. So you can buy them at Target, but you can grow trees, this and that, like little cherry blossom trees. It's STEM, which is the science, technology, and engineering and math. And the kids really like that because they get to build. My children are very hands on. They love to build, paint, draw, any of that, cook, bake. That's right up their alley. Now, this year we are doing things a little different. Um, oh, it's okay, baby. It's okay. What's the matter? He's all right, princess. Yeah, he's okay. Oh, the baby kitty woke up. He's okay. Hold on. Hold on, baby. Um, I'm gonna be doing things just a little bit different. Um, and I chose a different curriculum. Some curriculum that I showed y'all over the past hour, we are still going to be using. However, I found one that I really like. I'm going to show y'all really quick, and then I'm going to jump off here because I've been on here way too long. But it is called Easy Peasy All-in-One Homeschool. Now, maybe y'all have heard about it. I never heard about it before, but I love that it's online. It tracks everything, which means less everything, especially with multiple children, multiple grades, and I'm just one little person, so, But I printed out some stuff to be able to show y'all. Oops, let me put that away in my planner. So you take a math placement to know where your child is at. You don't got to print it, I just did, but this is what it'll look like. Now, this is just an example, but you will have announcements up here when you go online. So it'll pop up here once you go into Easy Peasy, like my EP assignments, then it will have your announcements here, your child's name, what day of school they are on, and your child gets points for everything that they complete. Your child's name should appear above along with the day number. This is counting how many school days you have marked complete. So when she goes in, she has pre-algebra, 7th grade reading, 7th grade language arts, Spanish, computer, Old Testament, ancient history, and biology. This is not all her courses. She is taking an awful lot. But that's what she wanted. Now, for this one will be like Melania's day 7. Point, same thing. So, math, reading, language arts, computer, Old Testament, ancient history, and biology. I'm going to go live tomorrow morning where I'll literally show y'all. I'll log into my my Easy Peasy account and show y'all what it looks like and take y'all through it just in case you're interested. It is free. And then I printed out the book list for the Easy Peasy reading. I have one literally for every child, and it's just to keep in their folder, and so I can have one also in their portfolio. And then you also want to have, it does have some support groups, which is what I love because everybody that I find with homeschooling, it's not in your area. And I feel like more people are starting to homeschool, or at least more people are curious for it. So I want to see if there is homeschool support groups in my area. And if not, then I'm just going to create one because I feel that everybody should have a support group, even just to talk to your children, to meet new, friends, you to have fellowship and friends. It's good for everybody around. I mean, I grew up with the saying it takes a village to raise a child, so everybody needs somebody. Um, and then they do the Easy Peasy Homeschool Tracker. So your student's name, the school year, and Easy Peasy Homeschool Tracker. And then this one is the lesson progress chart for Learn to Read, Easy Peasy All in One Homeschool. You have 111 lessons of sight reading, followed by 105 lessons of phonics. And then the last graph before I go is the daily progress chart. Now, you can do online, which is what we're doing. However, you're going to need to either A, print out the worksheets, or you can purchase them. Now, you can purchase them on Amazon, which I've heard is cheaper. I personally don't know if it is or not. I'm not going to tell somebody that I don't know, but I have heard that if you purchase the workbooks off of Amazon, it is cheaper than buying them directly off the site. I don't know if that's true or not, but like I said, y'all take that with a grain of salt and do with it what you will. I also got this from teaching textbooks. I thought this was really cute. Totally off subject, I know, but. And then cute little subtraction facts. Anyway, I didn't want to buy the textbooks, only because I already had enough to buy, and since my husband had that car accident, he hasn't been able to return back to work. Obviously, it hasn't been that long, so it's been a lot. So I just printed it. Like, we have ancient art, early American art that I've printed, modern art, Old Testament, New Testament, ancient history. And now I will say, if you're doing 1st through 4th grade, you can't staple it. So this is just one of my children, not the others. I'm just going to get each one of them a binder, but I printed it all out. And then if you have 5th through 8th grade, I could fit a paper clip over this one. So it is a good bit, but not that much. And then 7th grade and so forth. So you can choose, if you want to look into it, what is more cost efficient for you. Now, I personally looked and saw that it would be more cost efficient if my husband and I, if I just printed the material than if we bought the books, but that's just me. However, thank y'all for joining this chaotic and sporadic and all over the place live. It's been a great past 2 hours. Time flies. I did not realize it's been that long, and I really do hate to cut it short, but this literally was just supposed to be on what curriculum we used this past year. I wasn't planning on talking about what we're going to be doing this year or anything, but thank you all for joining. God bless y'all. Love y'all so much. Please don't forget to hit the like button and follow and subscribe. It means more to me and my family than you ever know. We're literally trying to just bring y'all around and show y'all real life and all our crazy fun adventures in between. But thank y'all again, and hope that you join next time. And don't forget, tomorrow morning I'm going to be going live where I can actually sit down. I can have time to really log in to my Easy Peasy account and take y'all through it and show y'all. And then I'm going to take y'all along with the process of completely redoing our homeschool room. So, again, thanks for joining. Love y'all and God bless. And I'll see y'all next time.